Hi, I'm Corey.
And I'm Kristen.
In the skill of interest of pitching a baseball, the goal of the pitcher is to strike the batter out. A pitcher can strike out a batter by throwing strikes or by switching up pitches and making the batter think they are strikes. Pitching is unique because you can change the type of pitch just by adjusting how you grip the ball. Our group is focusing on throwing a fastball.
Pitching focuses on accuracy, velocity, and technique. Accuracy is important because you want to always aim for the strike area. Velocity is important because the goal of the fastball is to throw the ball as fast as possible. And technique is important, or the accuracy and velocity would be off. Pitching is a closed skill because the environment does not change.
Pitching is also a discrete skill because there's a starting and an ending.
This is our novice kid. He is going to start with his preparatory phase, which is non-dominant shoulder, faces home plate in the arm-leg opposition. Then he is going to do his wind-up, which is a transfer weight with a step opposition and throwing his arm swing down by the hip and back up over the shoulder. Right here. And then he has his force production, which the leg comes down and his elbow moves forward at shoulder level to produce the most force. And then he has his follow through. The arm follows through diagonal across the body.
Everything is lined up towards home plate, and it is very, very rare for a kid that is a novice. Now his shoulders are right of home plate, so his power is going to go a little right, and the ball will probably not be in the strike zone. Right here, his front foot is already planted, which is restricting how much velocity he will be able to put behind the ball.
This is our intermediate level pitcher. He starts with his preparatory phase with his shoulders lined towards home plate. Here's his wind-up phase and his force production, and then his follow-through across his body.
Right here, his shoulders are lined up, but it looks like his leg that is up in the air is a little back behind his body, which is going to, instead of going to home plate, he's going to go to the left of home plate when he expands out. Right here, his shoulders are straight towards home plate, but when you see later about the pro, his shoulders will be tilted up a little bit so he can get more torque on his body to go towards home plate. Right here, his front foot is already planted, which is restricting how much force he can produce from his back foot. Now his follow-through phase, his whole body should be going towards home plate, but it looks like he is following a little left.
This is our expert pitcher. He begins his preparatory phase and is now into his wind-up phase. And he steps down into his force production phase. And then his follow-through phase across his body.
The only thing I saw wrong in this pro pitcher was that his shoulders were not always lined up towards home plate.
For pitching a baseball, there are several biomechanical concepts that need to be taken into consideration. The first one is force motion. The goal of pitching is to align all force in the intended direction to produce the optimal force production. Underneath this, there's muscle specificity. The dominant arm and shoulder will be the primary contributor to the movement goal and would need to be trained the most. And then for practice specificity, a pitcher would need to practice directions, speed, and force.
Then there's balance. During pitching, the pitcher will lift the opposite leg of the pitching arm. As they throw, they'll step down the leg, produce as much force as possible. This produce requires balance. Stability and mobility continuum. The pitcher needs to be able to hold the one leg up position, but also needs to be able to shift their line of gravity as they shift their weight from one leg to another.
The next biomechanical concept is inertia. Ball mass. You need to increase the speed and distance. A hard baseball travels farther and faster than a softball. Then there's distribution of mass. A pitcher shifts their weight down the mound to create a greater force.
Then you will have the range of motion. Speed increasing the range of motion of the shoulder will create a greater speed of the baseball.
Then you have coordination continuum, which is sequential. Transferring energy from larger to smaller joints is an effective way to produce fast movement on objects, in this case on the baseball.
The next is force time, applying force, increasing time and distance over which force is applied to generate a greater speed.
And then you have extension at release or contact, which is speed. A greater extension of the body will result in a greater speed onto the baseball. I think the best way to prevent pitching for skill acquisition is by the feedback sandwich. I think it's good to tell the pitcher that they did a good job, then give them something to fix, and then give them reinforcement that they're doing well on what they're
In
accomplishing.
pitching, you want to produce as much velocity behind the ball, but also have great accuracy. So you have a greater chance of getting the batter out by either striking him out or so he will not make great contact.
So we hope that our video on the analysis of pitching will help coaches and other pitchers, athletes, learn how to pitch correctly and with great feedback. I'm Kristen.
And Corey.
Bye.